from Nidhi? Camera wise, we are both sitting in and out.
Yeah. Camera wise is okay. I think last few weeks we are having a problem of them forcing us to pay for it.
Oh, I see.
There is some kind of
YouTube
overlay. Overlay is coming by the encoder. I think they are trying to force this. They seen that we are using it a lot, free. But anyway, let's see how it. If the voice comes, then it's okay. Both are visible. Yeah. Okay. The answer to the question is no, it's fine. Both are visible. Yeah.
Nikki, I was thinking I had some questions to ask. So I'll ask all the people who are sitting. We'll start from the back row.
Absolutely.
Whoever has got behind, then we ask them the questions, and then we'll ask the questions. Okay, from the back. Hey, who's sitting at the back? Oh, great! Lovely. It's nice.
The question starts from the very end.
From the very back.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. Sit there. Okay. We'll start with 3.
Hari 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 Smaran Karo. मुरली माधव सेवा करो मुरहर गिरधारी भजन करो मुरहर गिरधारी भजन करो हरि स्मरण करो हरि स्मरण करो हरि स्मरण करो हरि स्मरण करो हरि 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 स्मरण करो Hari 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 Smarana Karo.
So, we are currently doing the third kanda. We are doing the Aranya Kanda. Today we hope to complete Aranya Kanda. I'm going to start with my first question. So the rule is very simple. If you know the answer, you can sit behind. If you don't know the answer, you'll have to come in the front. Deal? Yeah.
Can anybody check whether the audio is coming on the
link? We are the Rajeswary. Aranya Kandam also has one more name that is often given. What name is it also called as?
Moksha Kandam.
You're okay to sit behind. This question was targeted there. Okay. Oh, so that means you have now cleared, but you all escaped. Okay. Gosh, I only prepared one question.
Sorry.
You didn't
No problem. So I think
answer that quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. I think today maybe Rama's will is you sit behind and listen. Okay. We'll come better prepared next time. Okay. So last time we learned, we were seeing we saw the whole abduction of Sita and the events that transpired after that. We also saw Ram's mental state. I mean, he has suffered a lot of different adversities through the entire story so far, but he has managed to conduct himself with poise through all or most of them. In this specific instance, we are now seeing when Rama loses Sita and he is not able to find her, then how he is struggling, how he is trying to kind of deal with it. And we saw all of the range of emotions that Rama now actually displays what as a human being it means to be without his loved one. And towards the end we saw when they meet Jatayu, and Jatayu gives them the first hints of what transpired, where to go next, which direction they should start looking. And we also saw how, while our scriptures say that of all the different forms of life, 8.4 million forms of life, the human life is the most precious. That's the life that makes one eligible for moksha. We also saw how when it comes to a bird like Jatayu, who was technically did not kind of qualify, just out of sheer bhakti, a lot of those rules can be overruled technically. Right? So all that is required is single pointed devotion and seva to the Lord, and through that he is Jatayu Moksham Visa. We will continue the story from there on. So open that down. I think he was
check. He's coming. It seems, yeah.
So the Jatayu was bestowed the moksham by Lord Sri Rama by his own word of command, because as we discussed last week, who is qualified for a moksham? It is only the sannyasis, as Sri Anna says. It is only the sannyasis who are qualified for moksham. Nobody else is qualified for moksham at all. And it is only the samskaram that is done to the sannyasis, which is referred to as the Brahmameda samskaram, which is the gateway to the moksham. That alone can take anybody to the moksham. And therefore the moksham is basically, there are three pillars to it. Who does the samskaram? To whom is that samskaram targeted? And what is the samskaram in itself? The samskaram, which is the Brahmaveda samskaram, which is intact, that is the shastra. The person who is doing it, which is Lord Ram, he is a qualified person. But the person to whom it is targeted, it is a pakshi. It is not even a species that is qualified for a moksham. So therefore, still it gets a moksham. How? Rama says, Mayartham abhyanugyato, Mayartham samanugyato. I am giving you the word. And therefore, Jatayu goes about to get the moksham. So this is where Rama comes out as somebody who exhibits his paratvam. Up until the previous few moments, he was crying, he was going here and there, and he was running from tree to tree, from hill to hill, from river to river in search of Sita. He was getting anxious, he was getting angry, and so on and so on and so forth. And then comes the Jatayu episode, where Rama exhibits his paratvam to say that he can and he will and he has given away the moksha to Jatayu. And the moment Jatayu's samskaram is done, he comes back to his own track of pretending to be the human, looking out in search of Sita. So he is back to the same Rama who is now craving for the darshan of Sita, who is now missing Sita, who is literally feeling lifeless without Sita, and he is directionless. He is just going wayward. He's going completely directionless. And here on the duo, the Rama Lakshmanas, they proceed forward. Because the only indication that they have now received from Jatayu is somebody by name Ravana. Rama doesn't know who Ravana is. Why did he do this to Rama? What is it that Ravana wants of him? What are his promises? And where does he live? What are his strengths? Where did he take Sita to? Nothing is known at all, except for the very few hints that Jatayu left, one of them being that Ravana took Sita southwards. So the duo, after the samskaram performed for the Jatayu, they proceed in the westwardly direction, which is where they wanted to explore further their search for Sita. And as they progress forward, the forest was getting more and more and more dense, more and more strange. The type of trees, the type of beasts that they had been seeing were all getting more and more ferocious, more and more noisy. It was like, it was not human. They were looking all like demoniac, diabolic birds, big in size, and it appears like a bird can easily come and devour a human being. They were seeing all these things and they were just crossing forest after forest. And finally, as they cross the Krauncha-vana, what comes next is the Matanga-vana. In between these two forests, there is a huge cave which is like almost, that seems to be an abyss. There is a huge ravine, but if you look at it, you cannot just see where it ends up until. It's so dark, and there are all these strange voices coming out of this, and that is where they see the goriest of the forms that they have ever seen, which is a Rakshasi by name Ayomukhi. That is her dwelling place. She comes out of that cave and she's killing all the beasts around her, such as the elephants and the lions and the bears, and she's devouring them. All the big wild creatures are fearing her. They are trying to just go away, and she is being so strong, so fast, and so ferocious, with her hair is all looking matted, sharp teeth, red eyes, whatever that you can imagine of the goriest of the augurs. That is what she is. And she catches sight of Rama and Lakshmana. Rama is completely lost in his thought for Sita. He is just going in a direction where he doesn't even know where he is going towards. It's more Lakshmana who is guiding him. Now here comes this Rakshasi who catches hold of Lakshmana. Somehow she falls in love with Lakshmana. Out of everything else that is supposed to happen in this situation of a grief, of anxiety, of sorrow, of anger, there is a strange romance that is suddenly taking place between a Rakshasi and a Lakshmana. And just few episodes ago, Lakshmana had to endure a similar such episode with one of the Rakshasi, which is Shurpanakha himself. So what he does, Lakshmana doesn't have any time to address all these things. He doesn't have any time to talk to him, because she is entreating him to come fall in love with him. Let's make love. Let's spend the rest of our lives over here marrying around these forests. He can be her hero. All this nonsense. He just takes out the sword. He chops her ears and nose, just as he did to the Shurpanakha. She runs around amok, shouting at the top of her voice, which further creates this sense of pandemonium among the birds and the animals. They run away amok. So they don't just have any time to address to these situations at all. Now, Sri Rangana, who is the son of Sri Anna, he tries to give an explanation here. It's not as if Lakshmana is just taking the law into his own hands and showing his strength or prowess towards women. It's not really the case. It's more the Valmiki's Shaili that Rangana wants us to focus on. Because had it been few episodes earlier, where it is the very tranquil, very serene situation in Panchavati, the Janasthana episode has already happened, the Karadushanas have been slain. Now comes Shurpanakha. So Shurpanakha talks to Rama, Rama responds, then Shurpanakha talks to Lakshmana, Lakshmana responds. Valmiki goes quite relaxed in giving all those narratives. Here is a situation where Rama is under terrible distress, so Valmiki is not interested in investing any further shlokas to describe what all would have transpired between Ayomukhi, Rama and Lakshmana. Lakshmana took a judgment call and he sticks to his dharma, and that is all that we need to understand here. Ayomukhi was punished, her ears and nose, just like Surpanaka, they were cut asunder and she ran away. But Rama is completely oblivious to what is happening around him. He is just walking the same way that he had been walking, and Lakshmana is taking him along. They are now proceeding forwards. Now the forest is getting further and further and further, more and more and more strange. Suddenly some very weird noise is coming out of nowhere, and that noise is so cacophonous, it goes all the way up until the heaven, it is so deafening. And Lakshmana is also feeling a sense as if somebody is strangling him, somebody is throwing a rope around him and pulling him towards. He senses that very weird pull, so to say. Now he tells Rama, hey Rama, this is what is happening to me. I feel a sense of weakness. I feel a sense of threat. My left arm is throbbing, my left eyes are throbbing. I don't see these to be very good augurs, very good omen. So looks like something is going to befall upon us. I think we need to be alert. When they were saying the same, when these things were just getting transpired between Rama and Lakshmana, suddenly they see two big arms, nothing else, just two arms, as long as they can imagine, which is coming, wrapping around them. That's what Lakshmana had been feeling all the while. And it is wrapping them, it is pulling them towards them. Towards something. It is just as if they have been now, entrapped into some rope, and something is pulling towards not something that's going to be good. They can just see a creature which they are unable to clearly discern what type of creature is it. Is it a Rakshasa? Is it an animal? Is it some sort of a machine? It looks to be just a spot. They were about a 1 krosha away, which is like about, maybe just imagine, a kilometer away. They could sort of see this is something looking like this. But as and when they get closer and closer and closer, that's where they get to see yet another gory figure. Now this Aranyakandam is all about all these, strange beings. There was a Viradha, then there was a Shurpanaka, then there is an Ayomukhi, now this creature. Now they don't know what this guy is, or this, whatever you want to call it as. Because the way this creature looks like is, it looks like a crab. There is just one small piece, and there is an eye to it, and there is a mouth to it. And you know what lies behind. You don't know what lies behind. Maybe there is the stomach, and there are two big arms. So they have seen Rakshasas. They have had encounters with Rakshasas. They themselves don't know what to do, but one thing they can realize is it is pulling them towards them. And the threat is imminent. Lakshmana tells Rama, Rama is now feeling weak. He is unable to put up a fight. Imagine the Rama that was in the Janasthana. In Janasthana, he told Lakshmana, hey Lakshmana, you don't have to come accompany me. Just sit with Sita in this cave and I'll be back. He was up in arms. But here without Sita, in that state of mind, Rama himself is in a very submissive mode, in a very surrendering mode, and he says, I'm feeling so weak. And Lakshmana used to be the counterbalance. But here, Lakshmana is also feeling weak, and he is saying things like, hey Rama, listen, I will fall prey to this demon or this creature. Somehow you try to escape the grips of this creature. I am very sure you are going to meet Sita, you are going to reclaim Sita, you are going to go back to the kingdom, live happily, let me become a prey. So you earn your escape at my sacrifice. But looking at this, Rama again, he says, okay, this is not the time for me to be depressed. And he says, Lakshmana, don't worry, we will see what is there. Take out your sword and slay the arm that is wrapping you. And Rama pulls out his sword, Lakshmana pulls out his sword, Rama chops off the right arm, Lakshmana chops off the left arm. And as and when they were absolutely close to the mouth, because as and when this was happening, this creature, it seems to be speaking. It seems to be speaking the language of Rama and Lakshmana. Possibly, I don't know what the language it was. Let's assume it is Sanskrit, because we are reading Ramayana from Valmiki, who had written this in Sanskrit. So it is narrating something at its side to say that, okay, wow, wonderful, what has happened? How lucky am I that I used to just grab all these elephants and bears and lions for my food. Now I see two handsome human beings. Looks like God has sent me a wonderful feast for today. So I don't know how you guys have come here, but one thing is for sure, you are going to be my feast. It is saying all these stuff, and they are exchanging this concern and worry. And finally, as they chop their hand, just like Virada, with Virada also the same thing happened, right? Lakshmana, Rama, he chops off the hands of Virada, and that is where Virada comes back to the consciousness and he starts inquiring who they are. The same thing happens over here. Kabanda asks, he's surprised more than anything else, because two big long arms, each arm is as long as 1 yojana, meaning 10 kilometers. Both the arms have been chopped off, and the blood is oozing out, it's splashing everywhere, there is a deluge of blood, it's all reddish everywhere, and he's getting more surprised at who these two beings are that really managed to do this to me. And he asks them, who are you? That is when Lakshmana replies to him saying that he is Rama, he is from Ikshvaku dynasty, he is the son of Dasharatha, and the kingdom has been taken away by his stepmother Kaikeyi, and to keep up his father's words, he has come down to the forest along with his wife and myself. I am his brother, and here he lost his wife, and we are in the search of Sita. All these things he narrates in a very crisp manner, because what possibly can you talk to a being who you don't even know who he is, and there is blood everywhere in that sort of a situation. That is where he says, okay, now welcome, I've been looking for you guys for so long. Swagatam Vahanaram Yagram, just welcomes. Look at the welcome, as if there is a Purna Kumbham and there is a Pada Puja about to happen. He says, I have been waiting for you guys for so long. And there is a sense of this adbhutam, this surprise that sort of prevails over there. And that's where this Rakshasa, his name is Kabanda, he starts giving out his Vritantam. And he starts telling what all happened. He says, I am not a Rakshasa, I am one of the Devas, I am one of the Devaganas, and as a part of my joyful sport, I used to assume all these augury forms to scare away people, and I used to play fun at them. So once what happened was, there was a Maharishi by name Stholashiras. Stholashiras was out in the forest to collect some sticks, the Samit, the Arasa Samit, which is the people sticks for his ritual. And I jumped out of nowhere to scare him, forgetting that he is a Maharishi. And he said that he cursed at me to say that I will be assuming this form forever. That was the curse that he spelled upon me. And that is when I realized what sort of a fool I have been. And then I bowed myself in obeisance and I conveyed my apologies, and I sincerely requested him to give me a relief. Which is where he said that when Rama comes and chops off my arms, I will be regaining my original form. Now here is where Sri Anna, he sort of, in Tamil we call it as Angalayaku, meaning to sort of complain, why are they doing this to Vishnu, why are they doing this to, because these Maharishis, for all the penances, for all the austerities, for all the tapas that they have done, they lose their temper and they curse somebody. And then the Karunyam takes over, and they then put the burden of relieving them from the curse on Bhagavan. So for each and every time this happens, Bhagavan has to come down and he has to relieve them. Same thing happened with Virada, same thing happened with, this in a Gandharva, in the Gajendra Moksham, the same thing happened. The same thing happened in innumerable instances in Bhagavatam and Mahabharatam. So he says it's always the burden of Bhagavan to come down and make amends for the anger or the burst of anger that Maharishis had undergone. Saying so, of course, that's for a small comment that he makes. So he says that that's how I've been waiting here. But even then, I was a very strong Rakshasa. I was cursed to be a Rakshasa, but one thing I had was the power. There was nobody who was stronger than me. So what I did, out of the pride, or out of the false pride that I had of being the strongest, I entreated Indra for a duel. And I got into a fight with Indra, and Indra with his thunderbolt, with his Vajrayudha, he gave a tight knock at my head that it just went down and got merged with my stomach, the thighs, everything has come into it has become one Pindakara. I became like a ball. And what also apparently happened prior to that was, I got into a very tight penance, because having done this to the Maharishi Stulasiras, I was feeling very guilty, so I did a tapas towards Brahma, and Brahma came down. He gave me his boon that I will have a longevity, I will live for a very long time. And then this happened. So the longevity combined with the strength was where I again got goaded towards picking up a fight with Indra. And this happened where I became a Pindakaram. Then I myself asked Indra, hey Indra, look, a fault has happened. I've acted foolish for the second time now. But I have a boon, you can't kill me. I'm going to be living forever. And if I live forever in this Pindakaram, I can't hunt anything, I can't do anything. What can I possibly do? So please do something. I'm one of the Devas, I'm one of your own. I shouldn't have done that. So as my king, why can't you show me some mercy? Saying so, he requests Indra, and Indra then says, okay, you will have 2 long arms with which you can grab anything and keep eating. So no problem for your food. Once Rama comes, as Tulasidas had once mentioned, once Rama comes in and chops off your hands, arms, you can come back and become part of the Devaloka. Saying so, Indra has gone off. So I have been waiting for you guys ever since. Good that you guys came here, but I need a favor from you. You have to burn me alive. The Agni Samskaram that you do for me has to be done when I am holding my life. Only then will I be liberated from this Rakshasa group. And if you do that, I will be able to help you. I know you are under trouble. And I will be able to help you, but I don't know exactly what I am going to do to help you, because in this Rakshasa form, in this Rakshasa Rupa, I will not be able to see things clearly. Once you burn me alive, I will regain my Deva Rupa, with which I will be able to see what's there and then help you. So it's almost, I don't know if he's getting a little transactional with that, but Rama is under severe distress now. He says, hey Kabanda, look, this is all the Nataka that Rama himself plays. He says, hey Kabanda, show mercy on me. Why would Rama say that? He says, show mercy on me, I need your help. And if this is what I have to do, we will do that. So he commands Lakshmana, bring all the firewood. The firewood has to be brought over here. You cannot create a funeral fire elsewhere, because he is not of a size that you can really carry. So this is what Lakshmana had to be doing right from the beginning. He did this for Virada. Virada was such a big person and he had to dig a pit and everything. Lakshmana repeats the same. He collects all these firewood from the dead trees, the trees that have been cut down by the elephants. He then literally puts the entire pile around Kabanda and he torches it. As he torches it, the Kabanda, who had been pretty much sedentary, he cannot move. I mean, one of the things for us is we have to keep moving around. If we just keep adopting a sedentary lifestyle, we grow in size, right? He had been growing in size. The only thing that he had been doing is to eat and eat and then eat. So he had been pretty much big, bulky, so obese. The entire akriti of that Kabanda is now set to fire. The entire body fat is now burning ablaze. That he cries at the top of his voice. It lets out a huge a cacophonous noise that reaches the hell, heaven, how many ever worlds are there. And out of this fire comes out a Divya Purusha. He comes out in the form of a real Divya Purusha, a Deva. He's all decorated with the best of the jewelleries. He's all decorated with white cloths. He's sitting on a Vimana. He has the Deva Parshadas serving him with the Chamaras and everything. And he talks to Rama in a very obedient manner, because Rama had been the one who had saved him from the curse. So he says, hey Rama, you are running through a time which is a little shady. So you're not having some amangalam, those things are happening to you now. There are 6 things that anybody possibly can do to fight bad times. There is one Chatushtayam that it's quite famous, Samadana Bheda Dandam. If you have to deal with an enemy, you have these 4 approaches, Samadana Bheda Dandam. Here, he talks of 6 techniques, such as, again, of course, you can get into a Samadhanam, you can also have a standoff, you can negotiate with him, or you can go on the offensive, you can forge an attack, or you can wait for the right opportunity. You can do a division, which is again the Bhedam that we saw in the other Chatushtayam. The final technique here is Samastrayana, which is to make alliance with someone else. So here he says, you have to make an alliance with another person by name Sugriva. And here is where Kabanda introduces Rama to Sugriva, or tells Rama about Sugriva, and he extols Sugriva. He tells about the qualities of Sugriva, because I don't know. Many of us may be standing in judgment of a lot of characters in Ramayana. All of us very easily judge people. So we judge Kaikeyi for what she is, we judge Sugriva for what he is, and so on and so forth. Sugriva is a Mahatma. He is the son of sun god. Because there are only two devatas that Rama prays to when he is searching for Sita. One is the sun god and one is the Vayu. So eventually in the Kishkinda Kandam, the sun god's son, which is Sugriva, and the Vayu's son, which is Hanuman, they are going to be coming in for the rescue. So here Sugriva is getting introduced. He says that he is the Lord of Vanaras. He is immensely brave. Let's not make any mistake, because Sugriva is often getting compared to Vali. Sugriva is put in front of Rama, and we are also going to be discussing certain episodes where Vali easily wins over Sugriva, or Vali is so scared and afraid of Sugriva. No, Sugriva is indeed immensely brave. He has the utmost of the power, and he has a limitless radiance, and he's a great guy. He's a Satyasandha. He's modest above all. That being one of the quality that he calls out. He is incomparably courageous and intelligent, and he is capable, he is masterful, he is brilliant, he has a great strength and valor. Rama has to go befriend Sugriva, and this friendship has to be vowed in front of Agni. These are all the things that Kabanda tells Rama. Do not underestimate Sugriva, because he is a person who is so knowledgeable. He knows the entire Bhukola, which is the entire geography, is known to him for some reason. This is what Kabanda says. What is that reason? We will get to know in the next Kishkinda Kanda. Apparently, Vali had been chasing Sugriva, that Sugriva literally went through all the geographies. He mastered all the locations. He knows what lies where. And he says, with all these qualities, Sugriva is the only person who is capable of and who will help you in finding Sita. Let Sita be hidden in the top of the Meru. Let Sita be hidden in the bottomless pit of abyss of any other cave. Sugriva is the only person who can help you. And Sugriva is such a great Mahatma. He is such a nice person that he will help you regardless of whether you are able to return his favor. So make haste. Go to Rishyamukha Parvata. Rishyamukha Parvata is where Sugriva is stationed, and he is going to be helping you. And on the way, there is a Pampa Saras, which is a rivulet, which is a small stream called Pampa. There is this old lady by name Shabari. Go meet her. You have to relieve her, because she is waiting for the last few days. She is going to be also leaving behind her mortal remains. Go pay her a visit, and then make your way to Rishyamukha. Saying so, he requests Rama to give him the leave. Rama allows Kabanda to go back to his abode, and in front of Rama and Lakshmana, Kabanda ascends. His Vimana is going up the sky. They are just looking at him. He suddenly disappears in between the clouds. Again he appears, again he goes up. As he is just about to disappear, he shows that he points the Rishyamukha, and Rama tells Rama, go there immediately, and off he disappears. It's all moments of some sort of a magic for Rama and Lakshmana, but they proceed. They proceed westwardly, and they pass through such beautiful forests which are like rich with all types of trees, and that has all these very ripe, rich, tasty fruits. And as and when they cross the Kraunchavana, they enter the Matangavana, and this is where they see a very different milieu, a very different atmosphere, because in a forest you see a lot of beasts which are dwelling. It is their habitat, and obviously you have a food chain. A lion attacking an elephant, a tiger attacking a deer for food, and so on and so forth. But in this Matangavana, there looks to be a sense of calm, there looks to be a sense of love and affection, there is a prema. Even if a tiger is coming very close to a deer, it is not getting into its killer instinct. It looks to be extremely conciliatory, and he senses this, how Rama is able to see this. And this is where he is going to be entering the ashrama, Matanga ashrama, which is where the Shabari lives. Now that brings us to the last episode of Aranyakanta, which is the Shabari Moksha. Who is Shabari here? The Shabari Vrittantam is described in many Granthams, which are again the inspiration from Valmiki Ramayana. Who is Shabari? Who are her parents? Where did she come from? That is not known. She is a forest woman. She is a huntress. And she had been making her life hunting on animals, killing them, eating them. She doesn't know. She is not even from the normal Varnasrama framework. She is not from the civilization. She is a forest woman. She doesn't even speak properly. She doesn't even know a proper human civilizational language. She had just been running her life like any other animal. But she enters a certain area where she starts feeling, why should I kill this rabbit? Why should I kill this deer? Why can't I just, eat a fruit? Why should I pluck a fruit out of a tree? Why can't I just eat some of the leaves that the tree itself has shedded down? She starts feeling she starts getting this type of thoughts, and she's wondering at herself, what is causing this type of a change in me? Is there something strange about this place that these types of thoughts are coming into me, these types of ahimsa thoughts are creeping into me? Saying so, when she is just wondering at herself, she hears some beautiful garments, or some very beautiful tones of incantations, and that is where she sees that some of the Maharishis are going back from the Pampa Saras to their ashramam, and doing so they are chanting their Veda mantras. And that is where she feels, okay, there is a very divine ashrama here. I can see the ashrama. It is the sannidhyam of that ashrama which is causing this type of a very positive atmosphere. Because not only that, I have started thinking in this type of a very ahimsa and dharmic ways, some sort of a spiritual thoughts are also coming out of me. Because if I really am a human, what should I do for my salvation? These types of thoughts have never come to me. So, but I'm a huntress. I can't go near them. I can't even sort of show them my ugly form and face. But I somehow need to be in their presence. Saying so, she decides to take up the Kainkaryam, which is when those Maharishis are all gone for their respective duties. She goes to their houses, cleans their front yard, and she starts taking up all these Kainkaryam. And when those Maharishis come back to their ashrama, she sees that, okay, all the front is all cleaned up, the leaves, whatever shrubs, they're all there. Periodically somebody is doing this, and the head Maharishi of that ashrama, which is the Matanga Maharishi. Matanga Maharishi is a Brahma Rishi. He is ferocious like Durvasa if one is adamant. Because we are going to also see that in Kishkinda Kanda, that Vali tries to act in a very careless manner and Matanga curses him and all that. But Matanga Maharishi, he is a Mahatma, and he asks them, he takes notice of these things and he asks them, who is doing this Kainkaryam? And they say, we don't know. And he ordains them to find out who it is. And they finally see that Shabari, some stranger woman, is doing all these things. And they come to her and inquire, who are you? Why are you doing all these things? Suddenly when she looks at all these Maharishis who are like, with their Brahma Tejas and everything, she gets scared. She says, okay, I will never do this. If I have done something wrong, I'm just going to go away. I will never come back into your sight. I just thought I was doing it right. They then try to sort of, pacify her to say, don't worry. I mean, we are not here to shoo you away. We didn't find anything fault in you. You are doing instead a very good thing that our Rishi Matanga, he wants to see you. And she says, no, please don't take to him and all. I'm not even qualified to stand in front of any of you. Least of all, the Matanga Maharishi himself. Just spare me, I'll just, no, it's not like that, lady. Come with us. Don't worry, you are in good hands. Something good is going to be happening because Matanga Maharishi himself has taken notice of your good work and he would like to see you. So, out of great reluctance, she enters the ashrama and then goes stand in front of Matanga Maharishi. And Matanga Maharishi inquires, who are you and why are you doing these things? She says, I don't know who I am. I used to just wander. I don't know who my parents are. I was just wandering in the forest and I was just eating things at will. I used to kill animals. suddenly when I came into this ashrama's circle, in the ashrama's influence, suddenly some positive thoughts started coming into my mind, and ever since I just started taking up this as a service. If I had done anything wrong, please forgive me. And Matanga understands that her heart is pure, and he instructs her, look, you are going to be the person who is in charge of all these services here on. You are a part of the ashrama, and you will ensure that ashrama is clean, and wherever, whatever such services are needed, wherever, you will be taking care of them, and you will be staying with us. You will be fed by the ashrama. After all the Maharishis have had their food, you will be given the leftovers. That is what? What is that? That is the Uchishtam, the Rishi Uchishtam, which is the prasadam. You will be given that. And now Shabari is Shabari. Shabari is all emboldened in a very, she's very excited about being given that duty of service by the Rishi himself. And ever since she starts doing all these services, and when she is doing these services, she also gets to overhear the conversations, all the shastras, all the, what would the Brahmavids talk with each other, what would the Rishis talk with each other. She gets an opportunity to overhear them, and subconsciously it is all getting into her psyche. She had been listening to them, and finally she herself, without even realizing, with all the good, this is what the Guru Kataksham does to you, is what Sri Anna says, that she herself has become a person who is qualified in all these shastras, all under the tutelage, unofficial tutelage of Matanga Maharishi himself. This is what a Guru Bhakti does to anybody. Without a Guru Bhakti, because this entire episode of Shabari Moksham is so special for one singular reason, which is the Guru Bhakti that she exhibits. This is one of the towering examples of the towering episodes in the entire Ramayana, which sits exactly at the center of the Ramayana, because as the Aranyakandam ends, which is the third, and then the Kishkinda Kandam starts, exactly towards the center is planted this big tree of this Guru Bhakti shown by Shabari. So she is now a very qualified person in herself, and suddenly one fine day, she sees that there is a sense of vibrance in the ashrama. People are, hurrying from here to there. Many people are entering the ashrama, people are coming out of it, because when we say ashrama, imagine that to be an agraharam, like there are multiple huts, multiple parnashalas, and there is a main parnashala of Matanga Maharishi, then there is a yagashala, there is a temple, so it is a small village in itself. Like people are going in, coming out. When coming out, they are all happy. When going in, they are all excited. So she doesn't know what exactly is happening in the ashrama, and she inquires one of the rishis who is coming out of it, that what's happening and what's so special today. That is why he says, don't you know, Shabari, Matanga Maharishi is going to be leaving his mortal remains today. He is going to be taking up his, he is going to take up his moksham today because that's typically, as we see in Mahabharata with Bhishma, who was given the boon of taking up the moksha at his will. Matanga Maharishi is a Brahma Rishi. So he has chosen today to be the day when he is going to be leaving this world, and he has invited all of us to come seek whatever that we wanted. So we are all going there to take what we wanted. Now hearing this, it is a big shock to Shabari, because she doesn't want anything from anybody. She doesn't want anything from Matanga Maharishi or anybody. To her, this entire ashrama is her world. All these Maharishis are her gurus, and Matanga Maharishi is her God himself. It is based on the mercy that he had showered upon her that she had been leading this life. Suddenly, when there comes a time when he is suddenly going to just leave the world, she doesn't know what to do, and she is all deep in tears. And she is just waiting there, because there is nobody to take notice of her, to ask her what's going on, what's wrong. She doesn't have anybody for herself at all. So inside, Matanga Maharishi calls every Rishi by his Gotram, by the respective Rishi's Gotram. Hey Kaushika, come, what do you want? Rishi, I want the Ashtamaha-siddhis. Okay, so you have it. Hey Bharadwaja, what do you want? I am suffering a lot of economic distress. I would like to have, nice endowments for myself. Okay, here you go. So every other Maharshi is having their own wants and desires, which Matanga Maharshi is very happily fulfilling them. But he has a treasure. Matanga Maharshi has a certain treasure, and he is looking for the right adhikari in his circle, and he doesn't know whom to hand it over to. Finally, Matanga Maharshi himself asks, where is Shabari? So people come out rushing. Shabari is sitting in a corner crying because she's foreseeing the time when she is going to be left alone. And they say, Maharshi wants to see you. And she goes there with all her eyes in tears. And Matanga Maharshi asks Shabari, hey Shabari, what do you want? She says, what would I possibly want? I never wanted anything. I never knew that I can possibly want something. I have everything that I need, all based on the mercy that you have now shown. Now suddenly when you are going to be gone, I cannot imagine life, what can possibly be there thereafter. Now Matanga Maharshi says, hey Shabari, this is exactly what I wanted, what I was expecting from my Sishyas. Looks like I have not prepped anybody accordingly. You are the person who is qualified for me to give away the treasure that I had been conserving from everybody. Come over here, sit. She comes and sits, and he does the operation in her ears, Rama, 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 Rama. And he says, just keep chanting the Rama Nama, just keep chanting the Rama Nama, this is the Karna Mantram that I am giving over to you. And she turns and asks, what is this Rama Nama, what is this Rama Mantram? Am I even qualified to do that? How should I be doing it? What is the procedure for that? How many times do I have to do that? And what does it mean? And that is where he says that Rama Nama is one Nama for which there are absolutely no procedures, no restrictions. You can chant it anytime. You can chant it when you're sleeping, when you're walking, when you're in the shower, when you're in the travel. When suddenly some certain amangalams have happened at home, no problem, you still can chant Rama Nama. The Bheshta columns, the women can chant it, children can chant it, old people can chant it. When there is a birth, when there is a death, when anything, this absolutely has no restrictions at all. And this can be chanted by any class of the society. Anybody can chant it at any point in time, and that gives you the result of what yajnas and yagas can give you possibly. Just keep doing it. And you asked, what is the meaning of this Ramanama? The meaning of this Ramanama will itself come and visit you at your home. This is going to be your home. Stay here and keep chanting it. The meaning of this Ramanama will itself come and bless you once. Saying so, Matanga Maharshi finally enters into the Homaguntam, and with his Yogagni, he just turns his entire mortal remains into ashes, and he goes up into the higher worlds. Thereafter, this Shabari starts chanting the Ramanama, and she's awaiting Rama ever since. Because when Matanga left, he did not say when Rama is going to come. Is he going to come after 10 years? Then she would be prepared. Up until 10 years, she has a holiday period and she can be... No, she can expect Rama at any point in time. Ever since she had been expecting Rama, and she had been keeping the house ready. She had been... Let's imagine that somebody special is going to be coming to a house. We will ensure that the house is in order, and we have all the food prepared, all the puja items ready to greet the person. She used to do this as a daily activity because she is expecting Rama day in and day out, and her only pastime in the Guru Viraham, because this is the Guru Viraham which a true Sishya will be suffering. The only thing that is possibly helping her sustain the life is the Ramanama that she is chanting. And somebody who started off, when she came into this ashrama, she was maybe in her teens. Now she has turned into 80, 90-year-old lady, a complete hag who's devoid of she doesn't have any teeth left in her face, her skin is all wrinkled, her bones are all weak, she's literally unable to walk properly, and she's still awaiting Rama. And at this point in time, somebody comes asking, where is Shabari's ashrama here? And the moment she realizes that Rama is right here, because some of the kids over there come and say that, hey, Shabari Pati, there is somebody who is coming here asking for you. And then Shabari comes out with, despite all her physical disabilities and her frail health, She comes out and greets Rama with the Argyam Padyam. She does the Pada Puja. Rama also sort of, he bends and enters into the hut, and he sits on the what do you call, the thinnai? I don't know what we call that in English. He sits over there, Lakshmana is standing over there, and the Shabari is experiencing some sort of an inexplicable bliss. Each time she is literally looking at Rama as if she is going to swallow him alive. And she takes out and she sits next to him. His body is all full of dust, because ever since he lost Sita, he had been on his foot. When did he eat? What did he eat? Where did he rest? Nothing is known. This is the first destination where he is taking a seat. And Shabari takes his leg, keeps it on her lap, and she starts doing the Pada Puja. And that's where Rama inquires about the well-being of Shabari. He asks, "Hey Shabari, how are things with you? Kachitte nirjita vignaha, kachitte vardhate tapaha, kachitte guru susrusha, aharascha tapaha." Are you doing your tapas properly? Is that serving you well? And for you to do your tapas properly, one of the important niyamas, one of the important conditions are your food. The food that you eat has to be taken care of. The ahara niyama, without a proper ahara niyama, you can't possibly meditate. So, kachit aharascha tapodhane is the aharam that you're taking, enabling you towards gaining the tapodhanam. Okay, so a huntress who is living in the midst of a forest, how can you possibly ensure all these things are taken care of? There is only one thing that can ensure that. Guru Susrusha, Kachitte Guru Susrusha. How is your Guru Susrusha going? There is no Guru here. The Guru has gone. So what is the Susrusha? What is the Susrusha that she can possibly do to the Guru? By doing what the Guru asked her to do, which is to keep chanting Ramanama. So Rama is inquiring all these things in a very subtle manner. Kachitte niyama praptaha, kachitte manasa sukham. Are you doing well with all these things? Are things keeping you happy here? Kachitte guru susrusha chapala charu bhashini. Say so, explain to me charu bhashini. Look at, he is looking at a 90-year-old lady and he is saying charu bhashini. Has he seen Shabari before? How does he even know that she is a charu bhashini? How does he even know that she is good in charu bhashini, meaning a lovely speaker? With all your teeth gone, you will end up speaking like a baby, the childish, gibberish talk. That's what you possibly, and how suddenly she has become a charu bhashini. That again Valmiki shows in the subsequent slokas where Shabari is replying to Rama. She says, Adhyaprapta tapas siddhi. Hey Rama, you are asking me if my tapas siddhi is working out, if it is serving me well. My tapas siddhi has come to its fruition. Tava sandarshananmaya. The moment I saw you, everything that I had been waiting for, all the tapas that I had been performing so long, had come to their fruition. Adhyame sapalam taptam guravascha supujitaha. So everything I'm completely fulfilled. Adhyame sapalam janma surgaschaiva bhavishyati tvayi deva vare rama pujite purushashava. So she says, out of simply doing the puja to you, I have finally kept up the word of what my Guru gave it over to me, and Swargaschaiva Bhavishyati. I am also going to make my way to the higher worlds. Saying so, she does the Pada Puja to Rama. She brings all the fruits, all the flowers and the fruits that she had kept here. And here there are a lot of other descriptions given by various other Ramayana versions where Shabari used to taste a particular fruit. She knows which tree yields which fruit and which fruit is going to taste how. She is picking up the choicest of the fruits for Rama, and some of those fruits have also seem to be bitten because she had tried the samples to ensure that Rama has given the juiciest, sweetest of the fruits. Now, is that an apacharam, a Bhagavat apacharam? Because when we do the Nivedyam in our house, we keep instructing our kids to never touch it. And in fact, when Sri Vaishnavas pick up the Tri Nivedyam to the Bhagavan, they even tie their nose because they are not supposed to smell the food. So if you look at the way they carry the Tiruvaradhanam, the container with the Nivedyam, they tie their face. But here is somebody who literally had tasted a part of a fruit that's going to be offered. Here is where the bhakti comes and takes over everything. If something is offered, we all know the story of Kannappa Nayanar, who literally spits out what he is having in his mouth because both his hands are carrying other things, the water and other things. So he spits out water in his face to do the Abhishekam, which Lord Shiva accepts as if the Rudrabhishekam is being performed upon him. So here when Shabari submits all these fruits and flowers, Rama accepts them with utmost happiness, and this is where he is actually finally having the food after a very, very long time, because he is now blessing Shabari for what she is. And then he asks Shabari, "Hey Shabari, why don't you now show me around the ashrama?" And Shabari says, "I have been waiting to do that." And she takes Rama and Lakshmana. She shows every other corner of the ashrama. Look at this ashrama. This is where, look at this corner. This is where my guru, he used to come back and do his japam. Look at that. Can you see because when Matanga left the ashrama, he had blessed Shabari to say that, "Hey Shabari, don't worry. Worry not. Don't cry. I am just leaving my mortal remains, but I am going to be here all the while. I am going to be with you." Saying so, Matanga had left. And as so to signify that, the flowers that were taken for puja when Matanga left, 13 years have passed, still they are fresh. The Matanga Maharishi's Marauri, the tree barks which had the muddy which they had put out to dry, it is still wet. The place where Matanga sits and does the japam, the place is still looking like somebody had attended to that place few seconds ago. So Shabari takes Rama Lakshmana to every other corner to say, "This is where my guru used to do the puja. This is where my guru used to do the tapas. This is where my guru used to do the yagam. This is where my guru used to sit with all his disciples and discuss all the different subjects." Saying so, it is all about guru, 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 guru. I mean, she had been, what Sri Anna says here is, somebody who lives, wakes, eats, sleeps, works for somebody. What does a Krishna Bhakta do? A Krishna Bhakta wakes up chanting the Pratasmaranam. For him would be the Krishna Pratasmaranam. Then he wakes up, he does the puja, he does the Prabodhanam, he does the Vishramanam, he does the evening again, Vishnu Sahasranamam again, evening Dolotsam, everything, his entire life. He gets married to beget children to continue the tradition of Krishna puja throughout the generation. So everything that he is doing, it is all oriented towards Krishna. Finally, when he dies, where will he go to? He goes to the Krishna Charana. Here, Shabari, for her every other lifeline, her breath had been Guru Bhakti. So she requests Rama to give her leave to go back to her Guru, because she is more excited to go back to Guru to tell him that she had been doing whatever her Guru had ordained her to do, and she did meet the meaning of the Ramanama, and she wanted to share these experiences. In Bhagavatam as well, we may have heard of the Nalagopara and Manigriva story of the two Arjuna Vrikshas, which Lord Krishna comes and uproots in the form of Damodara. So the Nalagopara, Manigriva, they are the sons of Kubera, who were cursed to become the two Arjuna Vrikshas by Narada. And when they were liberated by Krishna, they thank Krishna, and then they say, we want to go back to our abode. The question is, even after having seen Krishna, why would you want to leave the Gokulam? They say, we want to go back to the person who cursed us. That was not a curse, that was a blessing. We want to go back and share all the divine experiences that we have enjoyed. This was never a curse. We wanted to go and share this back. So they rushed their way back to their abode. Similarly, here Shabari is on her rush back to her Acharya. In Sri Vaishnava tradition, if some Mahan has passed away, they say, he Acharyan Tiruvadiyai Adaindar, meaning he has attained the lotus feet of his Acharya. So she is trying to make her way back to the Acharya, and Rama blesses her. And that is where, how did she leave? She sits in her Padmasana and she gets into the Atma Samadhi mode, and just like a Yogeshwara does, she burns her body under the Yogagni, and then she leaves her mortal remains and off she goes to the heaven. And Rama and Lakshmana are watching this, and then Rama, for the first ever time after the Sita's abduction, he feels a little lighter, because here onwards starts next the Kishkinda Kandam, which is all a downhill. All the Mangalams are going to start happening to Rama here onwards. And he says, now is when I really feel a sense of positivity and bliss, and let's make our way to Rishyamukha Parvata, because I can't wait any further to meet Sugriva. Now this is where our Kishkinda Kandam would start the next week. So with this, Valmiki ends the Aranya Kandam, the Moksha Kanda. Janaki Kanta Smaranam Hari.